Hey everybody, welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast. This is your host Kersten here, and today's podcast is going to be another quick one where I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to make your workouts better. And more specifically, we're going to talk about three things that you can stop worrying about paying attention to at all right now. And as a result, your workouts will get better, of course, if you know what to do instead, what to pay attention to instead. But important to talk about it because I see that a lot of people, and myself included in the past, are working out in the wrong way, are focusing on wrong things. And this is the reason why they are not getting the results that they want to get. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you can stop worrying about all the time so much is how many calories your workouts burned. Now, I understand that this is so common to think about it all the time because this is what a big part of the fitness industry is kind of built on. Burn more calories, and that's how you earn more food and deserve more food. And this is just BS. Your focus should not be on calorie burning if you want to do workouts that are actually effective, that change the way you look, feel, and perform. Of course, if you focus on calorie burning, you are most likely choosing cardio workouts. And if your goal is to burn, let's say, 500 calories, or otherwise the workout didn't count, you're doing it wrong. And I'm saying this in a totally non-judgmental way because this is how I used to work out all the time. And I remember when my main workout method was running, this is what I did. I put my watch on my wrist, I head out, and I didn't come back before I had burned 500 calories. And my watch told me, now you're done. And if I wasn't done by the end of my, let's say, 1 hour run, if I had not burned 500 calories, then this was like incomplete workout and I had to do more. So I would just run in circles and run in my house to hit that 500 calories. And when this was done, I was like, okay, good. Now I can go home and I can do the next thing. And this is a totally wrong approach because I understand like the idea, what a lot of people, how they approach workout is like, well, if I burn more calories, then I lose more weight, right? Isn't that true? And I want you to start thinking a little bit more ahead, right? Not only what's the immediate result of doing the workout, but what's going to happen as a result of doing this workout. And what I want you to focus on is start thinking about what kind of signal am I sending to my metabolism by doing this workout. The signal that we want to send our metabolism is to build strength and build muscle, because in the long run, what that does when you build a higher metabolism is that it's actually going to do a lot more fat burning for you. And this is only one of the many benefits of muscle building. You know that there are so many other ones like insulin sensitivity, better bone health. Also, when you do resistance training, better vitality, longevity, like there are just so many benefits to strength training. But if you're focusing only on calorie burning, you're likely not going to choose strength training, and you're just going to choose cardio training. And this is not to say that cardio training is bad. I'm absolutely not saying this. And I'm also not saying that if you do a couple of cardio workouts, like if you go running a couple of times a week, that's going to totally undo everything that you do at the gym, lifting weights. Absolutely not saying that. But I'm telling you that if your goal is to build and shape your body and get strong and have more muscle definition and have more of that shape that most of you say that you want, then you have to focus on other things like calorie burning. And instead of that calorie burning, focus on what is the signal that I'm sending to my body and what is the long-term effect. If I keep doing this, if I keep doing the strength training over and over again, what is the effect? And the effect is that you're building stronger metabolism. You are building a body that is going to now, even at rest, burn more body fat because you have now higher metabolism, versus when you only focus on running and at the same time you're cutting your calories too, your body is going to hit what's called metabolic adaptation, and then this is all your body is going to burn. Let's say that you keep your calories super low and then you burn even more by doing tons of cardio, then at one point you're going to be at a point where your body is just not changing anymore. You have to put in so much work to get the previous result, and now you have to run like 2 hours and 3 hours, and it becomes totally not doable anymore. So stop focusing on the calorie burn and start focusing on other things. The other thing that I want you to stop paying attention to so much is that how exhausted did I get? Because a lot of people think that this is a marker of really good workout. I was so tired. I feel so completed. I feel like I did the job. I feel like, now I deserve certain things, whatever. it's not about that at all. In fact, I actually want you to end your workout and feel like my energy is still really good. Maybe it's even better than it was when you first walked in. It's not about exhaustion. And years ago, I did not understand that either. I literally thought that the harder I go, the better results I get. And somehow there was also this like sense of like accomplishment, like, okay, now I get to rest. Now I get to do the next thing. Otherwise, I cannot. And it's so funny. Like earlier, I was thinking about it when this one time when we went on vacation in Hawaii, and I would always work out. I mean, I still do work out on vacation, not because there's anything obsessive about it, but just because I love it. But back then, I did only high intensity workouts, and my high intensity workouts were always designed so that I'm as exhausted as possible after it. And I remember going outside doing the workouts. I did crazy stuff. I did just so much. Like I did like tons of high knees and tons of sprints and tons of burpees, and on top of being active anyway already. So I did just so much. And I remember I wanted my husband to go with me, and he wouldn't want to do these workouts that I was doing. And I was like, why not? Like, you don't like them? He's like, no, I don't really see much value in it. He didn't enjoy like pushing himself so hard and so fast all the time and being completely exhausted the way I said that. Like, this is what I enjoy doing. Now looking back, it wasn't really that I enjoyed so much in the moment. It was just this sense of like, okay, now I've almost like earned something or deserved something, or now I've done it the right way. And I didn't know that this always pushing myself to exhaustion is actually not what's giving you the results, because then all you do is trying to recover all the time, and your body is likely not recovered for the next workout if you just keep hammering all the time. And of course, the same thing can happen when you strength train, and when you always go to failure. For example, you push yourself so hard that you can barely get the last weight up, or you're not getting it up, you're failing, right? So that also means that you're just putting so much pressure on your body and on your central nervous system. It takes so much to recover. And we have to remember that the gains that we want to see, the gains we want to make, happen when we are resting, not when we're working out. So there's no point in pushing yourself super hard all the time, focusing on how exhausted you are. This is not a way to measure the effectiveness of your workouts. And of course, you want to make sure that you feel like you did something, right? You worked hard, you challenged your body, you challenged your muscle. You want to feel like, oh, I did something. Maybe you look in a mirror, you see a nice muscle pump. That's always fun, right? Your muscle is filled with more blood right now, so it looks like it's fuller. This is a result of having done a workout. You have lifted weights. But this is different from feeling so exhausted that you cannot do anything now anymore. Actually, right now I'm working with somebody who has a really intense kind of history of working out, and she pushed herself really hard. She was doing 2-3 hours a day with weightlifting and 6 days a week, and she barely rested. And then she started hitting that point where she was now so fatigued that she couldn't do anything. And the idea of like getting outside or going for a walk or doing anything after her workout was like absolutely no, because her body was just so burnt out. And now that we're working with her, we have cut down the workouts, and then now she's only doing 2 workouts, and now she's saying, okay, my energy is coming back, things are getting better, I can actually go for a walk afterwards if I want to, versus before she couldn't because she was just so tired. So I don't want you to think about it at all like in terms of how exhausted I am. And sometimes you also hear, especially like around Thanksgiving or like holidays that involve more food, the idea is that you just have to exhaust yourself. Now you earn something. And this is not true. What you want to do instead, actually we get there in the second half of the episode, what you want to think about instead, but the exhaustion is not the thing. And then one more thing that I don't want you to focus on, you can stop worrying about right away, is that how much sweat you produce. Now, this is an interesting one. And I feel like this is probably coming from it's like, again, like very high intensity training and maybe also bootcamp training, where the idea is that the more sweat you produce, the better the workout was. And as if we could like measure it somehow like that. And this is not true at all. So now, of course, if you use this as your metric, you just push yourself more. And this is what I did too when I did a lot of high intensity workouts. It was like, oh, I'm not like sweaty, I'm not completely drenched. I guess I could do a little bit more. So I would add like 10 more minutes of HIIT or 10 more minutes of cardio, because I just wanted to see almost like the proof that I did it the right way, I sweat a ton, this is good. And this is not true. It's not good. It's not how you should measure workouts. In fact, actually, a couple of weeks ago, I posted on Instagram. I did a post where I said that if you want to lose weight really quickly, so you can just put on like a trash bag and go out for a run for 90 minutes and don't drink anything. You can lose a lot of weight because you get rid of a lot of water because you're sweating so much. But is this really what you want? Like, does this give you the result that you want? Yeah, you lose weight because you lost sweat, but did it give you any muscle? Did it give you any strength? Did it give you anything like really valuable? It really didn't. So stop measuring the effectiveness of your workouts with how much sweat you burn. And by the way, or how much sweat you produce. And by the way, there are a bunch of really stupid sayings out there. Things like sweat is your fat crying. Have you seen that? It's just absolutely crazy. There's even like t-shirts and things, and anything motivational, quote unquote motivational, that you may hear like that is just kind of repeating the idea that you have to be exhausted, tired, sweat a ton, limping out of the gym, or crawling out of the gym in order for your workout to be effective. And it does not have to be like this at all. So the three things that I want you to stop focusing on is how many calories your workout burned, how much sweat you produced, and how exhausted you got. And now I want to give you some other things that you should start thinking about if you want your workouts to actually give you the muscle building, the shape, the performance, the health results that you are actually looking for. So instead of calorie burning, just leave that watch home then if you can't do it otherwise, or at least don't check at your watch or your ring afterwards if you find that this calorie number is triggering, because it can very easily be that you are now thinking, okay, I did my workout, let me see how many calories I burned. And you did 1 hour of weightlifting and you are so disappointed when you see that only burned 300 calories. Like, what the hell, all this work for just 300 calories? Because you were still in the wrong mindset. You're still thinking about the wrong thing. You're going, oh, I could have run an hour and that would have burned like 550 calories. Why did I do this? Next time I'm going to go run, and see how you're going to go back to that wrong way of doing things if you're focusing on calorie burn. So again, I'm not saying that cardio is bad at all. If this is your sport, if you enjoy it, if you love doing it, do it. But if your goal is to change the shape and the shape of your body, and you want to have higher metabolism, you want to be stronger, this cannot be the thing that you do all the time. Like, you have to lift weights, and this is where you shouldn't be focusing on calorie burning. Instead, start thinking, what kind of signal am I sending to my metabolism? Am I telling my body to get strong? Am I telling my metabolism to rise, go up, be better in terms of like fat loss? Because we know that when we are stronger, we have more muscle mass, we are also better at burning body fat. If this is our goal, even if it isn't your goal, you still create a lot more flexibility. Like, metabolically speaking, you are able to eat more things. You're able to have things that you don't maybe have every day, and now you have once in a while. You're not going to gain weight overnight if you have a healthy, flexible metabolism. So it's really helpful to think about it this way. Just like, leave that watch home then, or don't check at it. And if you look at it, just don't get triggered by it, by the number of calories that you burned. Now, the next thing that I want you to think about if you want to have good, effective workouts is that, did I have a good mind-muscle connection when I did my strength workout? What do I mean by that? Did you actually feel your muscle? Because you want to activate your muscles, so that what you're trying to do there, let's say you're trying to work on your glutes and you're doing squats, and you just did the squats and didn't feel a thing because you maybe didn't have good connection. Your mind and muscle, there's no connection. So what you need to do is to make sure that you get that connection going. And the way you do it is start priming. So for example, you can do, before squats, you can do some band work. You can do some bridges. You can do some lateral walks with the band to kind of feel that slight sensation of burn. So your muscle is not connected. Now, when you do your squats, you're going to be a lot better at them. You're going to get so much more out of it, versus now thinking about when you are in a class where everything's in a circuit manner, just go from one exercise to another really quick, boom, boom, boom. You don't even feel that connection in your muscle that you tried to work, and you're not getting results, right? You're not getting results. You're doing the same thing year after year, and results are the same, non-existent. And I use the glutes example because, for example, this is what I struggled with for a long time. I didn't feel the connection. I was like, what is going on? But okay, I'm just going to jump into my workout, do it anyway. This is not how you build stuff. So now I definitely always prime my muscles and make sure that I get this mind muscle connection before I get into that big lift. And this is how you actually start getting the results that you want to get. Now, the next thing that you want to focus on is your form. I mean, that should have been the first thing, actually. So Of course, you want to do all the movements with good form, and you get so much more out of it when your form is good. So let's use the squat example again. Let's say that you're doing dumbbell or barbell or kettlebell squats, and you only get halfway down, maybe not even halfway, right? You're not even getting to parallel. Guess what? You're not using as much muscle as you could if your form was great and you could go lower, right? So that can mean that you need some mobility work. That can mean that you have to push yourself a little bit more. If you've been like just kind of like staying like halfway there, not going lower because you didn't know if it's a good idea, should you do it, or you're just rushing through the workout, this is not giving the results. So you want to have good form, you want to have good mobility, get as low as you can in your squat, and your push-up, get as low to the mat as you can. Do the exercise with perfect form. And of course, this is also for your injury prevention, your pain prevention, because when your form is good, you can do it longer. You can increase your weight. You can get better results. The next thing you should be focusing on is progressive overload. So every now and then, you want to add weights to your barbell or pick up heavier dumbbells. And this is something that I also have to talk to some of my, especially my newer clients who are newer to lifting. They maybe don't love it yet as much, and they just try to kind of breeze through the workout because this is new to them, and they don't necessarily aren't, like I said, so much in love with it right now. And then just, oh, I did my workout. And then it comes out that they've been doing the same weight again, again, again. And I'm telling them, you have to increase your weight over time if you want to start seeing results. And once they do that, the results just happen because the body needs to be challenged. Now, of course, not all the time. You cannot increase your weight all the time. Every single workout that you are doing, this is unrealistic. But every now and then you should be able to increase your weight and then see the strength numbers go up. So focus on that. So instead of the calories and the exhaustion and that, focus on, am I getting stronger? Am I able to now pick up heavier weights, and can I put a couple more plates on my barbell? And then one more thing that I want you to focus on is that, how's your energy afterwards? Because we already mentioned, you don't want to be exhausted, you don't want to be drained. Actually, when you are done with your workout, I want you to feel like at least as good as you did before, or even maybe better. You feel like, oh, this was good. It felt nice. Yeah, I have this cool pump and I have energy and I want to do things. I want to move on to the next thing. I want to do it. And how's your mood? Are you feeling happy? Or are you grumpy? Are you exhausted? You're like, oh, this was terrible and I have to do this again tomorrow. So if this is how you think, this tells me that you are actually not doing your workouts right. You're probably exhausting yourself too much. You are not focusing on mind muscle connection. You're not focusing on the long term, what am I getting out of it? You're probably just focusing on doing this ton of stuff and just getting through the workout and beating yourself up. So this is really how it tends to be. So real quick, again, the three things that you should stop focusing on are how many calories your workout burned, how much sweat you produced, and how exhausted you got. And then the other things that you should start focusing on. And I promise you, when you start keeping these things in mind, you're going to get so much better results. Is that, do I have a proper mind muscle connection? Am I actually feeling my muscle? Secondly, is my form good? Then am I using progressive overload? Meaning, am I able to lift heavier weights over time? Am I able to increase a little bit now and then? And lastly, how's my energy? Is my energy better? Or is it so much worse at the end of the workout? Is it like, am I so exhausted that all I can think about is going to bed and sleeping 2 hours after my workout? Because you want to feel energized, you want to feel in good mood, you want to feel positive, you want to be able to do other things as well, not just working out. Because we have to remember that the strength gains happen during our rest, not when we are working out. That's why rest is as important as working out is. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you watch this on YouTube, make sure to check out the next video. I'm going to put it up here. If you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave me a 5-star review. I really, really appreciate it because that can help the podcast more easier to find to other people as well, so we can get the word out about healthy eating, training, self-care, and all the good stuff that I'm talking about it here a lot. So thanks so much. And actually, one more thing, if you have any ideas, any thoughts you want me to talk about on this podcast, just send your thoughts my way. You can, of course, find me on Instagram. DMs are open there. You can email me or you can leave a comment on YouTube. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a great week.